Those words may perfectly summarize what is happening inside Japanese sports media today. As of January 2026, an unprecedented situation is unfolding across Japan's media industry and professional baseball world. With only 2 months remaining until the 2026 World Baseball Classic, global excitement should be reaching its peak. Instead, shockwaves are spreading after revelations involving Shohei Ohtani and one major Japanese television network. It has now become clear that Ohtani has completely severed ties with a specific broadcaster. That broadcaster is Fuji Television, once famous for its slogan, "If it's not fun, it's not television." But this situation goes far beyond a simple dispute between one athlete and one media company. This conflict has shaken the very foundation of WBC broadcasting and may become a historic turning point in Japanese media. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. In this video, we will uncover the irreparable breakdown between Shohei Ohtani and Fuji Television. We will also examine the massive ripple effects this conflict has had on baseball, media, ethics, and broadcasting rights. Why did a player known for humility and kindness reach a point of absolute refusal? Why has reconciliation become impossible? And what does this controversy reveal about modern sports journalism? Behind this story lies a deeply troubling reality that must be addressed honestly and without restraint. Tension continues to rise as March 2026 approaches and the WBC opening day draws closer. After Japan's dramatic championship victory in 2023, fans are eagerly anticipating a historic three-peat. However, an announcement made in November 2025 sent shockwaves through the entire Japanese broadcasting industry. The organizers revealed that Netflix would obtain exclusive global broadcasting rights for the 2026 WBC. This was not merely a contractual decision. For the first time in history, Japanese terrestrial television networks would be completely excluded from the WBC. For decades, WBC games were a family tradition, watched together in living rooms across Japan. That familiar national scene suddenly disappeared. Executives at major networks reportedly went pale, realizing they had been locked out of a national sporting event. Many feared this signaled the beginning of the end for traditional television itself. But beneath the surface, even more shocking information began circulating quietly among insiders. According to sources familiar with MLB operations, Ohtani's camp strongly supported Netflix exclusivity. The reason was simple and calculated. Negotiating separately with individual Japanese networks would inevitably involve Fuji Television. Rather than exclude Fuji directly, Ohtani's team chose to reset the entire system. By consolidating rights under a neutral global platform, Fuji would have zero opportunity to participate. This move preserved outward fairness while effectively eliminating one broadcaster entirely. One WBC insider went even further with a stunning claim. If Fuji Television had acquired even partial broadcasting rights, Ohtani's participation might have been reconsidered. That is how intense his refusal had become. Although Ohtani ultimately confirmed his WBC participation, Fuji's exclusion was reportedly a non-negotiable condition. Even as former manager Hideki Kuriyama welcomed Ohtani publicly, tense negotiations unfolded behind closed doors. Inside Japan's baseball organization, concern quickly turned into alarm. Officials acknowledged that Ohtani's rejection of Fuji went far beyond simple interview refusal. He reportedly refused to share physical space, visual exposure, or even tolerate the network's logo nearby. Some described it as a near-physiological rejection. Fuji Television executives understood the gravity of the situation. They had invested massive budgets preparing for WBC broadcasting rights over several years.
Ow!
All of it collapsed overnight. One mid-level executive reportedly described the outcome as a professional death sentence. Since the initial controversy, Fuji attempted every possible channel to restore relations. Letters, apologies, and intermediaries were all reportedly ignored. Next exclusivity created inconvenience for some viewers, especially older generations unfamiliar with streaming platforms. Complaints about losing free terrestrial broadcasts quickly surfaced. However, sports journalists offered a different perspective. While inconvenient, protecting athletes from media overreach may justify this unprecedented decision. Ohtani demonstrated that media unable to follow basic ethical rules have no future. So how did this situation escalate so dramatically? The origin traces back to an unforgivable incident in 2024. On October 31, 2024, Shohei Ohtani won the World Series in his first Dodgers season. After overcoming early season scandal and pressure, he delivered a historic championship performance. 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases, and a season unlike any before. Moments after victory, Ohtani smiled warmly during an interview with NHK. He thanked his teammates and Japanese fans with genuine emotion. Then something changed. As a Fuji television camera approached, Ohtani's expression hardened instantly. When staff informed him the request was from Fuji, he shook his head firmly. A Dodgers staff member crossed both arms into a clear X sign toward the camera. The message was unmistakable. Ohtani turned away and left the area without saying a word. Meanwhile, he later smiled again during another NHK interview. The contrast spread rapidly across social media. Viewers realized this was not accidental. This public rejection stemmed from an earlier and far more serious violation. In May 2024, Japanese media reported Ohtani's purchase of $12 million Australian Los Angeles residence. The original source was a routine real estate article in the Los Angeles Times. However, Japanese television stations escalated the coverage dangerously. Fuji Television and another network aired live reports directly outside Ohtani's home. The exterior, surroundings, and even private facilities were clearly visible. Reporters interviewed neighbors, effectively identifying the exact location. This crossed the line from journalism into stalking. Ohtani's fury stemmed from one critical issue: family safety. He immediately demanded revocation of media access through his team. Sources say he admitted he could no longer live in that house. The property was reportedly sold shortly after purchase. Fans and tourists began visiting the neighborhood, disturbing local residents. Security concerns worsened due to rising celebrity-targeted robberies in California. Several MLB players had already experienced home invasions. For Ohtani, this was not discomforted. It was a life-threatening risk. The media's actions forced him to prioritize survival over comfort. Although Fuji issued an on-air apology, public reaction was harsh. Viewers criticized the network for shifting responsibility onto audiences. The situation deteriorated further after comments from Fuji's president. He denied formal loss of media credentials, using technical wording. To many, this sounded like evasion rather than accountability. Trust collapsed completely. Fuji's misjudgments did not end there. During the World Series, the network aired MLB content during Japan Series broadcasts. This enraged NPB officials and sponsors alike. As punishment, Fuji lost access to Japan Series coverage entirely. They sacrificed domestic baseball credibility while still being rejected by Ohtani. The result was catastrophic isolation. As of January 2026, reconciliation remains impossible. Next, exclusivity confirmed the finality of this separation. This is no longer about broadcasting rights. It is about redefining how athletes are treated by media institutions. Athletes are not content. They are human beings with families, homes, and basic rights. Shohei Ohtani used action, not words. To enforce that boundary, one superstar forced an entire industry to confront its ethics. Whether Japanese media learns from this remains uncertain, but history will remember this moment. Thank you for watching until the end. Please share your thoughts in the comments and support the channel if you found this analysis valuable. We'll see you in the next video.